The sound of the final buzzer means it's hangover time. So grab a drink and join your host, Alphonse Sidney, for a Miami Heat Beat post-game show.
Heat win! Heat win! Heat win! Never in doubt. Never in doubt. Felt good about that shit the whole fucking time. Cowards. No fucking guts. I saw y'all on the Twitter timeline talking about, oh, this is going to be the worst loss of the season. Yes, it might have come from my account, but I didn't really believe that shit. Yeah, oh, crying. Oh, crunch time. Oh, we're so bad at crunch time. Oh, Jimmy Butler and one motherfucker. Jimmy Butler, Missy Preacher, whatever. It happens. Kyle Lowry, fucking defensive stopper. Kyrie Irving does everything in his fucking might to try to win this. Fuck him. We got it. Listen, in the course of an NBA season, you're going to have pretty wins. You're going to have ugly losses. There's no such thing as an ugly win. They won the fucking game. They played down to the competition. There was a Cam something or other. It wasn't Cam Reddish or Cam Johnson. It was a Cam Newton. It was a Cam out this motherfucker going ham. Like, just going crazy. Just a nondescript Cam just went ham on us. The shit happens. Heat motherfucking win. First from the Eastern Conference. Bring me the fuck out, Brass. I am Alphonse Sidney, a.k.a. Alf954. Welcome into the Miami Heat Beat post-game show, Hangover Time. If you're watching live on Twitch, thank you. We love you. Throw us those subs. I think we're like almost halfway to the 200 sub count where I have to sing Pepas. I still haven't learned the words. I don't know how to speak Spanish, but I know that.
That's all you need.
Yeah,
that's all you need. That's some rhythm.
And then I'll
people pay the money. They want a little more than that, but that's fine.
Yeah, I'll get the words now. If you guys give us 200 subs, I will get there. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, thank you as well. We love you. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. But please try to check us out live on Twitch after the game. The chat be lit. We be having a lot of fun live.
And don't be weirdos in the comments, YouTube.
Don't be weirdos.
Y'all are some fucking weirdos lately.
Honestly, let me just say something. If you have to say I'm not sexist or racist in your YouTube comment, you're sexist and racist. Just letting you know. So I'm super excited tonight because you know what it is, Moose. Let him know.
I gotta hit him one time for a Saturday night drip drop.
Not to mention, we have the one and only Rohan Nadkarni. Rohan, what's going on, man?
I'm not gonna lie, it took way longer than I expected to get introduced. I know that you guys, I don't think you know who I am. I don't just do local shows like that, I thought I'd do you a favor, a fellow 954 guy, but yeah, that was a long introduction.
Go off, Rohan.
That was a long introduction, to say the least.
Let me tell you something, Rohan. You are one of us at this point. This is love.
Yeah,
like, it's love. You are an honorary Heat Beat member at this point.
I appreciate it.
Rohan Cody's part of the family.
Yeah, there you go. Good save. Good save. You guys
I'll make sure to send you your W-4 next week.
Thank you.
Gotta get his 1099
next season.
But we have Rohan here. Super excited because every time we have a guest, we lose. We won tonight, I have a secret to why we won. I'll get into it a little bit later. It's on me. I'm just gonna let y'all know. But we're gonna find out what everybody's drinking, and I also want to hear your player of the game. Lego. Someone in the chat mentioned Kenny is in 1080p. Yeah,
for now.
Kenny, for now.
Internet glow up.
Honestly, Kenny has fixed his Wi-Fi a little bit, and I don't know what it's going to do to the show. I don't think it's good for content, but shit.
Kenny says he's fixed his Wi-Fi, but I think he just unplugged it and plugged it back in. I don't know. We'll see.
He blew it in like a Nintendo cartridge, and he's like, I fixed my shit. Rohan, what are you drinking tonight, and who was your player of the game?
True to form, like every single other time we've done this show, I once again do not have a drink.
What?
We
talked about this.
This is like theoretically my boss would maybe see this. I don't think that's ever going to happen, but I guess I'm technically representing Sports Illustrated, so no drink. But my player of the game, I'm going to go with Duncan Robinson. I'm just starting the agenda early. I'm going with Duncan.
A man after my own heart.
Who was closing down the stretch for a minute, and then he got taken out for Gabe Vincent, even though Kyrie was cooking the entire team, and Duncan got scapegoated for it. But, yeah, I'm going with Schmeeth and Smolnik every time. Just taking shots, doesn't say about where I live. Like, Schmeethan, Los Feliz Boulevard, corner of Los Feliz in Vermont, Los Angeles, California. I'm waiting, all right? Whatever you want.
Bitch.
Yeah, whatever you want. Let's go. But anyway, that's what I'm not drinking, and that's my player of the night.
All right. Ro could Getty the fuck out of here. And if you're listening on the pod stream, Rohan is wearing a Getty hat, which is why you should be watching.
I didn't
Bruce,
even catch that.
what are you drinking? Katie, I thought your Wi-Fi was working. You can't even see Getty. Moose, it should look like karate to Kenny right now. Moose, what are you drinking, and who is your player of the game?
Come on, Saturday night drip drop night. You know, I got my monkey shoulder here, got it with a little bit of ginger ale. And my player of the game, you know what? I got to go with PJ, man. I know PJ Tucker wasn't giving us everything on the offensive end, but he was giving us everything and more on the defensive end. And that huge third quarter for us, that all started with PJ's hustle. So PJ Tucker, easily my player of the game, especially for his defense late in the game as well in the fourth quarter.
Honestly, he was amazing all game, and we have the PJ play of the night. We probably need to make some imaging for that shit. Yeah. Because the motherfucker's been a monster all year long, and all you people that wanted fucking Marcus Morris to start over him, you guys are fucking idiots. I'm just letting you know that right now. Let's trade Marcus Duncan and 2 firsts for Marcus Morris. You guys are dumb. Anyway, Brass, I'm on one tonight. I'm gonna let y'all know it's gonna be a long and bad show. Brass, what are you drinking tonight, and who is your player of the game?
Nothing fancy for me tonight. Tonight I made an old fashioned. Just as a go-to drink because it's an old-fashioned heat culture type win tonight, folks. So I mean, they dominated most of the game. Got a little dicey in the end. We've seen that happen, but again, they tend to take the foot off the gas to lesser teams like the Nets. And my player of the game tonight. I'm gonna go. We're on a multiple game streak here. Bam Adebayo has been absolutely dominating the game of basketball as we know it. 19 and 14. He was like a plus 20, I think.
Plus 22.
Second most rebounds on the team tonight. I mean, he's just in every way of the game. Bam has been absolutely crushing it lately. So cheers to him.
Brass is drunk. He had the most rebounds on the team.
He had the most. No. I meant assists. I'm sorry. I meant assists.
Second most assists.
No. I said. 19 and 14. Yeah, second most assists, just behind Lowry.
Somebody in the comments said I have a look of disdain on my face, and I just want to say that's correct. Yeah.
Disdain for what? The long intro? Like you are getting quite the fucking ego, my friend.
Oh, goodness.
Quite the goddamn ego.
Am I going to use my 3-strike rule on Rohan?
Guests get 5 strikes. And
5.
You guys have a 3-strike rule?
Yeah, well, it's mostly
for Solana.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, okay.
It usually starts with his drink.
Exactly. It's usually for the people that don't drink, but
I see.
Yeah. You're on like strike 3 already, but you get 5. So we're
there.
Good.
We go. All right. Someone just said that's his face. I'm sorry. I'm here for the comments always.
The best. Yeah. Someone said sausage fest up in here. Yeah. All the women left when they heard Rohan was coming on. Kenny, what are you drinking tonight, and who is your player of the game?
So look, I'll go behind the curtain a little bit. I don't drink outside the Hangover Time, so I do still have the baby bottle. I'm not going to end up like Eddie Kane. I'm not going to end up like Eddie Kane because of y'all. Because if I walk up on y'all singing nights like this all fucked up, y'all going to be like, oh, no, chill, I'm with my family. No, you're going to hear these vocals. It's cool. I got the baby bottle. I don't know. I've been drinking this baby bottle for a little while. So I got the baby bottle.
No, show the baby bottle. Show it to everybody.
I got the baby bottle still.
Jesus.
I might finish it tonight. It's a drip drop night.
You might.
So,
I mean, you
I
fucking
might.
better. You got to drink for Rohan too.
And my player of the game, I'm not supposed to do this, but my point was already formulated in my head. So I'm going to go Bam Adebayo anyway. Because we always talk about him being aggressive or not aggressive, whatever the case is. And I saw a couple people complain about him not being aggressive tonight, including somebody in the chat. He only took 12 shots. So my whole thing is be aggressive as long as you're smart about it. And tonight he was smart about it. He took 12 shots, but that also led the team tonight in field goal attempts. So he finished with 19 and 14. He picked his spots, 8 for 12 from the field. I'm still going Bam.
Somebody asked, why isn't Rohan at a Super Bowl party? And that's a really good question. We'll get to that in a second. You live in L.A., don't you?
It's only 8 o'clock here. I don't know. Like, who's to say this is like all I got going on tonight?
Listen,
You know? Yeah.
I'm also really old, and not leaving the house by 8 o'clock means I'm going to bed.
You already made your decision for the night.
Yeah. Oh, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock
sweatpants
is tomorrow for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
8 o'clock is tomorrow for me here.
Exactly.
Like, if it's 8 p.m., I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hope Moose doing a drip drop night, because besides that, I'm not wilding out. Brian, who is first of all, Brian Goins, rare appearance on Hangover Time.
Someone said this is definitely all I have going on tonight.
I mean, you are wearing a Getty hat.
I was gonna say the Getty hat is a giveaway.
Miami pretty much like Getty means like you're having a pachanga or a party.
But Brian Goins, rare appearance on Hangover Time. Thank you for joining us. Brian does like to go to sleep by 10 p.m., 10:30, warm glass of milk, and he's in the bed. But he stayed up late on a Saturday night. What are you drinking, and who is your player of the game?
I made myself a screwdriver with some Tito's. I had a bigger bottle than Kenny, so Kenny, you don't have an excuse. I don't really drink, and I still have a big bottle in my pantry. So get one out, please. And
Kenny's got a
I
mini
made a
bar at his
screwdriver
house.
because man, like this team screws around the fourth quarter way too much. So like, what other drink should I make? My player of the game, I think I wanted to go with Bam, but I think I have to go with Kyle Lowry. There's a lot of times in that game, towards the end especially, where he kind of just kept the team composed, with just like with either a shot like a layup that he had in the fast break, or just simple passes that they need in order just to get their offense, just like not screwing itself over. Because that's pretty much the theme of this entire fourth quarter is they just like to do stupid things.
Make it hard for themselves.
Honestly, with Lowry, they at least cut it down by half.
Mm-hmm.
And that's enough for them to win these games. So I got to give it to Lowry. And even on defense, towards that last possession, him and PJ double teaming on Kyrie and Cameron Thomas, like, you honestly, like, those are the reasons why they went out this offseason to get specifically those two players.
Absolutely.
Because last year they lose this game.
Oh, absolutely.
Shmeethan says Rohan had to cancel his Wordle plans to come on the show tonight. What is going on with Shmeethan and actually?
Dude, Shmeethan, I told you, man. Corner of Los Feliz in Vermont. Meet me at the Chevron. Like, I'm waiting, bro.
Getty is 5 letters, so you can try that next time.
I've never played Wordle. I gotta be honest.
No, I do want to point out Steve Nash kind of ruined my childhood a little bit because you can't give David Duke Jr. minutes during Black History Month. I don't care what.
Okay.
You can't do that shit. So
I love how Kenny just dropped in with that shit. Like Kenny's like, I'm gonna get this takeoff.
Yeah.
No, that was a pre-planned joke. He was like, listen, we're never going to get to this topic.
We're going to get there. There will never be a Steve Nash conversation during Hangover Time. I'm going to get this shit in.
I appreciate it, Kenny.
So,
but also the fact he's a junior is fucking me up too. Because like they had a chance to like fix that and they didn't.
It's true. Yeah.
I'm drinking Frankly Organic vodka. Hopefully you guys sponsor us soon. And my player of the game, Rohan kind of rained on my parade a little bit. But woo! Let me tell you guys something. There's basketball players and there's hoopers. Okay? Duncan Robinson is a hooper. Let's go, Brass. Show them what I'm talking about. First of all, this ain't the Gaga of the game. It's a Gaga of the year.
Man.
Look at my man with the ups. I mean, look, the hezzy. Oh, Blake Griffin? Get the fuck out of my damn face.
That's wild, because Blake used to be athletic at one point.
Hezzy
A long ass time ago.
Listen.
Very long.
Yo.
Blake Griffin is one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA today. I can say that with a straight face because I'm off camera a little bit. I mean, Duncan went all the way in his bag tonight.
And you see Bruce Brown making that business decision too. He ain't want to get put on that poster.
Oh no!
Oh no! Yeah, that's a career decision. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I really hope Blue Wire posted it on their Twitter account.
First of all, if you
That
got a
is
Duncan
literally
Robinson
thinking
poster,
about his contract.
if you got a Duncan Robinson poster, there's other things that need to be discussed. And then to be on the Duncan Robinson poster, but listen. I am the leader of the Duncan Hive. Third tonight in
Always
plus
have been,
minus,
always will be.
because single game plus minus is super important. Okay, it is one of the most important stats in the game today. And he was third, and he scored how many points? 17 points, second on the team in points. I mean, Duncan Robinson was amazing tonight. And Rohan pointed this out. Clamp Kyrie up. Kyrie was in jail when Duncan Robinson was out there. And Spo, who y'all call the coach of the year, the one of the top 15 coach of all time, takes him out in favor of Lil Shamar Moore, Gabe Vincent, who was out here getting cooked. I don't know. When I was watching, Duncan Robinson was holding shit down. Gabe Vincent was a minus 16 tonight. I'm not questioning Spo's coaching, but I am questioning Spo's coaching. How do you take Dunk Clamps Robinson out? That's his nickname. Dunk Clamps Robinson out in favor of Gabe Vincent. I'm going to you, Rohan. Like, what is Spo thinking there? Duncan was out here clamping fools.
Okay, in defense of Spo, Kyrie was clearly getting it going there in the fourth.
Thank you.
Yeah, yes.
Not on Duncan.
He blew by Duncan on one possession. The help was late. I do think that game was interesting because I think there's going to be a lot of fourth quarters in the playoffs where you're going to kind of want Gabe out there over Tyler and even over Duncan, just because of the nature of the playoffs. Everyone's going to be playing some really switch heavy. If you're playing the Bucks, if you're playing the Nets, there's going to be some really switch heavy moments in those series. So I did think tonight was interesting that Spo went to Vincent. I'm sure Caleb would have maybe gotten a chance if he were healthy tonight and playing. But I love these kinds of games just because we got to see, how's this team going to treat a close game? How's this team going to treat a close fourth quarter? That to me is a really fun thing to see. And I would not be surprised in the playoffs if there's 2 or 3 minute stretches in the fourth where you see either Gabe or Caleb on the floor. I know some people are saying Oladipo in the comments. Maybe. I would love to see it. I think it would be great, but it's going to be really interesting. But yeah, I thought it was. In fact, I was kind of happy to see Gabe get in there just to see what that would look like with him in the closing lineup.
Legitimately, I was as well because I did think that he did a good job. He did a good job on Kyrie. Mm-hmm. But Kyrie, when Kyrie, a guy of his stature, goes nuclear, there's only so much you can do. Yeah, and this is part of the reason, Moose, when you get that lead in the third quarter, you got to hold on to it because, these are NBA players. Cam, whatever the fuck his name is, kept him in the game. And then now you've given an opening to a guy like Kyrie Irving in the fourth quarter. And I think he scored 22 points in the fourth. Like, you left that door open and you almost got caught a really bad L tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I think this is going to be a situation, shout out to Karate, where it's both figuring out, like Rohan just said, it's both figuring out his closing game lineups now that he actually has these pieces to work with. Let's not forget these guys have not really been playing together that much this season. There's still guys making their way back. Like when we have Depot later, I'm not ready. I'm kind of with Rohan as well, where I don't know if Oladipo is going to take Gabe's minutes or even Caleb's minutes. I don't know that yet. We need to see how he looks. But Gabe and Caleb Galeb, as we like to call them, they're absolutely going to be a part of the playoff rotation because defensively is what's going to get you there. And I think in terms of tonight, we got way ahead up in the third quarter. We kind of took our foot off the gas a little bit. And yes, we sagged on defense a lot, and they started making a lot of shots. Cam Thomas went off. And
Thomas, that's his last name?
Yes, Cameron Thomas.
Sweet. I will refer to him by that from now on.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, so I think this is more so gonna be. We're gonna have games like this in the second half as Spo kind of figures out what's gonna be his closing lineup going into that playoff stretch.
So I'm sorry, I do want to add really quick. So that is an easy adjustment for Spo to make because what happened is when they first started going on a run was they went small, and Spo didn't want to put Bam and PJ back in yet, and so they stayed small. They started the run like that, and then Kyrie went Kyrie when it was too late.
Right.
But it's an easy adjustment for Spo to make. He just has to put his guys back in sooner.
Well, that's a good point, Kenny. He was trying to get PJ some rest.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really thought tonight was going to be a night that Bam and Jimmy didn't play in the fourth quarter. Mm-hmm. And then the bench. And I don't know if it's time to be concerned about the bench because the bench has carried them a lot this year. But the starters have been fucking killing people the first and third quarters. Like that third quarter, they came out and just literally I thought they were going to run away with the game. And then the bench comes in. And people got on my neck about it, but there were some Tyler and Max minutes that I did not like. Like they were both getting hunted. Like you can't have two motherfuckers getting hunted at the same time. Yeah. Like they were getting killed in those minutes. And then Kyle and Bam came back in and they righted the ship a little bit, but the wave had already started coming. Like I'm a little bit worried about some of these bench minutes with Tyler, Max, and it's like I don't know. You know, while other teams are no longer going through COVID and all these other things, I don't know if that bench lineup can hold things together like they used to.
Yeah, I think, and I've seen like talk all year about who's going to get squeezed out in playoffs, whatever the case may be, or squeezed out when Oladipo comes back. It might be Max. And look, I love Max. We all love Max, but Tyler has to play, and you can't have two bad defenders out there. And I mean, Duncan's not getting squeezed out. We can just whatever anybody had to say about that, that's not happening. So it might be Max. And it's unfortunate because, like I said, I like Max, but you got him and Tyler getting hunted, and that contributed to Brooklyn coming back into the game too. And so you're going to need defense in there. So it's going to be Caleb and Oladipo splitting a lot of those Max minutes. It's unfortunate, but it's unfortunate for Max. I don't give a fuck. I'm what he doing, but
well, I mean, also
that may be what happens.
Also, another reason that we started that the lead, lessened so much in the end there is like unlike Kyrie in real life, he started getting shots. So, yeah, whatever.
I mean, I will say for what it's worth, like more often than not, especially nowadays, like that 20-point lead, your team's just not going to hold on to it. The other teams can start hitting threes. Like the Nets were so cold from three to start the game. It was only a matter of time before some of those shots started to go in. I will say, Alf, I don't know what like the Tyler situation is on this podcast. I know there are like different factions and some people go nuts about him. Like,
with a great drop. I think he's all right.
I'll drink to that. I haven't had a drink. Come on.
I'll just say
Go
that
on,
I think
Rohan.
he's like a he's
Easy.
a concern. I think he's a little bit of a concern.
For the NBA, am I right? Motherfuckers out there.
Only because I think he gets hunted in a way that, like, even at least Duncan has the length. I think Duncan's a great team defender. Duncan's good at funneling guys to the help in a way that I think Tyler is not necessarily as good at. And then beyond that, it's interesting because I think a lot of people are saying he's going to be kind of the solution in the half-court offense. That to me, that's risky. And I at the end of the day, I'd rather have the ball. And there's a moment in the game tonight where PJ missed his right corner three. I think then Kyle, Bam, and Jimmy like all missed shots after that, but they were all looks that were good for them. Like to me, those are the guys you want shooting. Those are the guys you want with the ball in their hands. The idea that you're going to go to turn it over to Herro, and listen, Herro's had like a great season. I don't want to take anything away from him, but it's funny. Like I do my podcast with Open Floor. I host with a Celtics fan, but I joke about it with him all the time. Like if you looked at Tyler Herro's and Jaylen Brown's just box scores next to each other, you'd think that they're similar players or close to what they do. But the responsibility that Tyler has compared to some of the starters or I mean that around the league compared to even like say Jeremy Grant in Boston or Detroit rather, like it just becomes a lot different when teams are game planning for you, putting their best defender on you, etc. Like, and that's what makes me kind of nervous. And sometimes like I feel bad because I'm trying to like make the Tyler Herro conversation realistic, but it sounds like you're dumping on the guy when you do that.
Hating.
But yeah,
but it's
exactly.
not hating. It's realizing what his. It's realizing what
said was online.
What are his faults and his
strengths exactly.
Yeah, like we can understand that, and that's why when it's a close game, Brian, like tonight, Herro gets pulled in favor of a Gabe Vincent, and my thing is, I don't believe in the playoffs in a close game. If you're up, especially if you're up by 4, 5, 6 points, it ain't gonna be Tyler Herro. Like everyone plugs Tyler Herro into Duncan's starting spot in the crunch time. Like, what's me to say? Rohan is really criticizing Tyler Herro during. We'll get to Black History Month right after this.
Yeah.
But Brian, I don't think Tyler Herro is part of that closing lineup. I think Depot or Gabe or Caleb is going to be in Duncan's spot around the core four, if you will.
It's just going to be matchup dependent, honestly. Like this game, probably, I think Herro probably should have kept closing. He didn't have it today. It's going to be depending on like who has the hot hand too. So like obviously Tyler didn't have a hot hand today, especially from deep range. I think he had another 0 for 3 nights. Like he hasn't even like made any threes in the last couple games he's played. Most of his shots are coming inside the paint. And when it gets towards like the end of these games, like you want shooters to spread the floor so that Bam and Jimmy can operate drive into the paint and basically get those fouls. Because that's usually the Heat's best offense in the fourth quarter. If it's not from transition from like a good defensive stop, it's, trying to get in and get those easy fouls, especially if they're in the bonus situation like they were today. And I think Tyler, for the most part, he didn't have it. And I think Spo was right to sub him out for someone like Gabe, just to give him an extra ball handler, because I think he's a better ball handler than Tyler right now, who also can play and team up with Kyle as a point of attack defender, and that's sometimes what you need to close out some of these tight games. They weren't hitting their shots, and he went defense more than offense. And as you guys can see, they blow off these leads a lot, but I don't think they've lost one of these leads yet. I mean, they had the same time like twice with Utah. They did it against the Lakers again tonight. And I mean, the common theme is that their defense usually pulls them out at the end, and they're able to win these close games, even though their half-court offense isn't the best. And I mean, I'm sure that, like you're saying, probably down the road, we'll get Oladipo in that kind of situation. I think he'll probably be pretty good at it because he was pretty good at it last season for those 3 or 4 games.
One thing I just will, sorry, I'll let you go. I'll let you go.
No, go, because I'm about to go completely off script.
Well, one thing I'll just say that. And first of all, let me put it this way. I like to look ahead to the playoffs a lot just because I love playoff basketball. It's so different than the regular season. Like I hope that the people who are watching this team don't only think about the playoffs, don't only think about how are they going to win a championship. Like this is one of the most fun Heat seasons in recent memory. Like it's something I always like to say to people, like this exact group will probably never play basketball together again. Like there's going to be changes in the offseason. Guys are going to come in and out. Like enjoy this group. This is an awesome group. Like last season was miserable. This season is way more fun. So I hope everyone is really enjoying it and not doing what I do, which is looking ahead, but it's just kind of the nature of what we write about. But one thing I will say that's interesting, because Brian mentioned they build these big leads, etc. They usually go on that third quarter. But there are 2 things that are interesting here. One is the third quarter blitz is really interesting. That's usually a sign of a great team, that they're winning those third quarters. Like the Warriors used to always do that, right? But secondly, this year too. What makes me interested about it is, we talk about how good the bench is. Sorry, the Lakers are about to go for a tying 3. LeBron's taking it, and he missed it.
Sucker.
The Heat build these big leads with their. The Heat build a lot of leads with their benches. Second quarter, first quarter, etc. the rotations tighten so much in the playoffs that their depth, I'm not sure how much of an advantage it's going to be come that time of the year. So that's something that's really interesting to me.
Rohan, I've said it the last show because there's been a lot of talk around Heat Twitter about the backup four.
Mm-hmm.
Who's PJ's backup, right?
Yeah.
If there's a 9-man rotation and there's five positions in the starting lineup, there's one spot that does 9-man rotation in the playoffs is normal, right? There's one
for the first round, maybe, yeah. But yeah, I mean, listen, you've got
and it goes down to 8. But
exactly.
But what I'm trying to say is that there's automatically a position that gets squeezed the fuck out.
Yeah, true.
So I would love for the Heat to get. I heard Derek Favors might be a buyout option. Bembry, who I like, but I feel like we got Bembry at home and Caleb, and he's better.
Yeah.
I would like one of these guys, but like obsessing over this backup 4 spot when it might not even be consequential.
That's a great point. And let me just throw it out there. Like there's a Daryl Morey philosophy that's like, let's not waste time trying to find a backup for the guy who's going to play almost 40 minutes in a playoff series. Like that's one of the least important spots on the team. Listen, there are some playoff games where only 6 or 7 guys are playing. Everyone, please look at the box score from Game 7 of the Rockets-Warriors Western Conference Finals a few years ago. The Rockets are playing like 6 guys in that game, okay? Mm-hmm. Like towards the finals, et cetera, if your team is healthy, you're playing 6, 7, maybe an 8 guy. Yes.
The 9th guy usually is like 2 minutes.
Yes, that's completely true. Like it's 2 minutes in the first half, and they don't see the court again.
And to that point, in general, look at PJ Tucker's playoff minutes. The guy almost never is sitting on the bench. Yeah. They have him between the 4 and the 5 every single minute of the game because he's too valuable on their defense to take off.
And
you're talking just like insurance, like pure insurance. Yeah. It's like, you pay into fucking health insurance, but a lot of time you pay into fucking car insurance. And most of the time you don't need it. You don't use it. You go years never having to use. Yeah.
And guess what? If PJ Tucker gets hurt, you're not finding a buyout guy. You're not finding trade insurance. Like if PJ Tucker gets hurt, I'm sorry. Like
Derek Favors ain't saving you.
Culture takes a little bit of time
to Derek Favors isn't saving your season.
Yeah.
The thing I want to point out too about PJ also, because there is a lot of talk about wanting to rest him during the season, so we got to make a move so we can do that. He's averaging, I think, the second least minutes per game this season he's had since 2018, 17-18. And so they've already been resting him where they could. And Spo already has it figured out. We don't have to make a move with that necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
But let me be clear. I would like a Derek Favors. I think a Derek Favors move.
If we can get it, great.
It's a great move. I think but to think that Derek Favors is going to make a difference, like, listen, your top 8-9 guys right now, if they can't play in the playoffs, if you have injury concerns, like it's not a big deal. Like if Derek Favors is your insurance for PJ Tucker because PJ Tucker can't play, then what are we talking about?
Exactly. Yeah.
Derek Favors isn't getting the job done.
No, we
all due respect to him, but he's not getting the job done.
We move to next year.
I'd rather get Dragic back on the bench.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah. I feel you on that a little bit. But speaking of Dragic, it's Black History Month.
Perfect. Excellent segue.
Amazing segue.
You know how good I am with the segue.
I love it.
So all February we have been giving you our Black in Time segment. We're taking this
Someone said, "Buckle up." I'm so nervous.
Have you seen any of these, Rohan?
I have not. There's been minutes.
Sorry, bro.
How's your face?
Let me tell you something.
It's okay. No, we like to educate on this show.
Let me tell you, Rohan, you should have drank because
you should have.
If you were about the drinking ruining your career, the Black in Time segment.
My internet's about to go out like Ken's.
We need the buyout market to get a Rohan replacement for the last half of the show.
But it's February's Black History Month. We want to celebrate Black History Month only the way Hangover Time can, with our Black in Time segment. And this time we are going back and we're talking about the first Black sports billionaire, Michael Jordan, and how we got there. It's not just off of NBA contracts. It's because of the Air Jordan sneaker and everything that surrounds it. So let's go Black in Time.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
Looking Black in Time.
The first pair of Air Jordans were created for Michael Jordan during his time with the Chicago Bulls in 1984 and designed by Peter B. Moore. The sneaker revolutionized the sports apparel industry and led to MJ being the first billion-dollar black athlete. The Air Jordan paved the way for other signature sneaker deals for players like Dwayne Wade, Kevin Durant, R.J. Barrett, and of course, Gordon Hayward.
This was another edition of Looking Black in Time.
Sorry, Rohan.
As a sneakerhead, that was my favorite one.
Rohan, your thoughts?
I mean, my expectations were so that I think I just psyched myself out into thinking it was going to be so much worse.
Thank you. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about that segment.
I was so nervous that I could live with the result of where that ended up.
Now, did you notice R.J. Barrett's slavery shoes?
I wanted to ask, what exactly was he wearing? I didn't recognize that model, that silhouette of sneaker. Yeah.
They were the slavery 451s.
No, they were the. I don't want to say.
Yeah. It's okay. Wait for the replay.
They were
the baseball league from a long time ago.
Long time ago.
I know.
Let's play it one more time and let's focus on RJ.
We're playing that one more time.
Of course we are.
I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed.
Looking Black in Time.
The first pair of Air Jordans were created for Michael Jordan during his time with the Chicago Bulls in 1984 and designed by Peter B. Moore. The sneaker revolutionized the sports apparel industry and led to MJ being the first billion-dollar black athlete. The Air Jordan paved the way for other signature sneaker deals for players like Dwayne Wade, Kevin Durant, R.J. Barrett, and of course, Gordon Hayward.
This was another edition of Looking Black in Time.
Yeah, there are some comments I am not touching. I'm not.
Oh my God!
I'm not doing it.
I'll
I'm gonna put Nope. See, my hands are up. My hands are up. God damn it.
The cotton picking fours.
I hope to God that dude is black.
Rohan, we've had you on the show so many times. Thank you so much for coming on, man. Like it was really great having you always.
Oh man. RJ with the middle passage 8s.
Alf tells me to do shit and I do it. Like there's nothing I could do. Alf's gonna get really mad at me. I'm scared of Alf. Like, you know.
What are those?
I'm not gonna lie. Some of the comments are hilarious.
I know. I can't. I
don't want to read any of them out.
I can't read any of them, but they're hilarious.
Yeah.
Like I didn't.
No.
Oh.
Oh man.
Take it off, Alf. Take it off.
You can't say that online. You cannot say that online.
Ethan said he was rocking the Air Kutas.
Oh my God.
So, what do you think they're talking about in the comments of the 5 Reasons show?
I don't even think they're on tonight.
What?
They're doing a Donovan Mitchell segment.
Hey, look, we can't do that tonight. Like,
can we talk about how I unwittingly got clipped by so Howard Beck mentioned on our podcast that Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert aren't getting along and that the whispers are going to grow louder in the summer. And so I'm I'm just making a joke. No one ever is aggregating our podcast, and I was like, they're going to love Duncan and Tyler in the offseason. Next thing you know, I see the clip going around of me saying that on Twitter, and I was like, oh no. Everyone's responding to it like Rohan has the guts. And I'm like, I don't. I actually don't.
Wait, so that's what I came from?
Yeah, and I was like, just making a joke. Like, didn't expect you guys to find this one, but yeah, that was tough.
We find
Oh, people definitely will believe in you. I didn't know that was
It's
you.
like you forget people are listening.
Rohan,
exactly.
we will find you. Like, this
true,
is Heat
yeah.
Twitter. We will find
That's
you.
true. That is true.
Anything involving a trade, Heat Twitter's gonna find. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love trades more than we like basketball.
It does
Apparently.
bum me out just sometimes how many people are like, everyone's just always talking about how do we turn this into this, and I get it. Like the Heat kind of like
It's
set that
annoying,
in
bro.
motion when they like from 2010 forward, but yeah, this is a fun team. I just hope
really
people.
good.
It
is a fun team.
Remember to enjoy this team.
It's just the thing is,
It's-
people don't watch basketball, and then they just fucking whatever. I don't know.
Well, again,
I'm-
we went into the trade deadline with the 1 seed.
Yeah,
Like on a team
Like, what are we-
where we didn't even have our one of the best trades that happened last season.
Yeah. I mean, if
Um,
you had told every Heat fan before this season that, until February, Jimmy, Bam, and Kyle are only going to play 15 games together, and they'd be in
Yeah.
first place in the East. Like, I was saying that on podcasts before the season. I was like, I don't think their depth is that good. All those guys need to prove themselves. Lo and behold, they did it. And I mean, no one expected them to be the 1 seed. I mean, came into the show, it was people thought the Hawks were going to get it. It's really
My
crazy
God.
that they're the 1 seed.
And so let me just
Yeah.
say also, now that I have the chance and the deadline is over, the PJ Washington stuff was completely humiliating. Who do we think PJ Washington is? Y'all embarrassed me. And then Rui Hachimura. Like, so let's okay, thanks for the music, Brass, because the baby bottle is finished and I'm ashamed of how drunk I am, but let's get into it. The idea
Two sips.
that, okay, just in case a guy gets injured, the guy we're going to depend on to not get injured is Rui Hachimura. His career high in games played is 57 minutes. The Washington Wizards have not been a good team in a very long time. So you don't want to play a young guy. So that's not just because, whatever, we're trying to win, we can develop him later. No, he fucking sucks. He sucks, and he's always injured. So his career high is 57 minutes, 57 games in a year. He's 3 years in. He's done. He's finished. He plays in Washington. He's a scrub. He's a scrub. PJ Washington, he can shoot a little bit, but he's also a scrub because he doesn't defend. But shout out to him for having an IG model in the calf eating tater tots. That's cool. So I want to be like him, but I don't want him on my team. Take me out, Bryce.
All right.
Kenny on violence mode.
Oh, first of all, Kenny,
I think people only wanted him because his name was PJ. That's it.
no. What the people that wanted PJ, myself included, wanted PJ for people that didn't play. KZ, Keith, Yurt. I sent all these motherfuckers out there for the dude who can play. Like I don't assign any kind of fucking conviction to motherfuckers who don't play that much. Like that was the whole thing.
Well,
Like,
so
PJ Washington can hoop. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
Thank you.
If
no, but Kenny, the proposed trades were.
5G Kenny.
so
Go ahead.
I'm fine with PJ Washington being on the team. It's the passion of we need to get him right now. Oh my God, PJ Washington.
The
Yeah.
disappointment
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
not getting
Crazy.
PJ
Yeah.
Washington.
That
That's
was
is a whole
insane.
other thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I want him on the team, fine, but like yelling at people for questioning why we would be iffy on it, like that was a little embarrassing. I kind of wanted to call myself a fan of a different team, but other fans of other teams suck also.
Yeah, people in the comments going like, "Oh, yeah, you guys are going to be laughing when all these teams made other trades and they whoop our ass in the playoffs." So,
And nobody
guys,
got PJ
there was
Washington.
no,
Like,
there was
Rui
no-
Hachimura
guys,
was making
there
the
was
difference.
there wasn't if there was. Just get it through your fucking heads. There was no trade that the Heat could have made that would have made the team better this year. There just wasn't. It wasn't there. It wasn't there. It wasn't worth sacrificing what we had. We were a 1 seed. We are a 1 seed, and we still haven't seen Victor Oladipo. I don't know. I really doubt Markieff is going to come back. I don't see that. I don't see that happening, unfortunately, because that'd be nice to have that kind of that kind of extra something. But like this team is really good really solid. We have that Bam that we have been asking for so long, and we're getting like consistent Bam. I don't think you understand how important that is.
Yeah,
how important that is.
What's
so
more
if we can go in again,
Marcus Morris.
people can get hurt at any time. So like you can't worry too much about like, well, what if Jimmy goes out? Well, what if Bam goes out? Well, what if Kyle goes? Yeah, that happens. Like, but you don't need to trade away pieces that you already have to get someone to sort of fill that need. Like, come on, man, you're smarter than that.
You can't. If you have title hopes, your title hopes rest upon your best players.
Yes.
Like you can't. Yeah. Your entire philosophy can't. I'm giving up my starting shooting guard to make sure that if PJ Tucker gets injured, we're okay. That is the dumbest fucking philosophy I've ever seen and heard in my life.
Anthony Insurance, who the fuck thinks like that?
It's a wild fuck. It's a wild thought.
Why are they cooking Brian in the comments? For being
I got a special. Like Gianni's on the phone with me right now. He has a special message to say to all you motherfuckers out there.
How dare you doubt anything they do?
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
Look,
that's true.
This, at some point, like, please watch at least one game of another team. Like, the shooting is inconsistent, so let's pick up Marcus Morris.
One thing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, okay, stop. Rohan, I like Marcus Morris Sr. I like him as a player.
Yeah.
But you are.
And I love
LA.
that the rest of the league hates him. I love it.
I
love that.
That's a heat culture thing.
Yeah.
He's a heat culture kind of guy. He will just foul the shit out of somebody because they dare to make a fucking layup on a fast break. And he will try to end their career for daring to just lay it up. And I like Marcus Morris, but Marcus Morris for Duncan Robinson and a first-round pick.
Nope.
How dumb is that? And you are in LA. You're around a Clippers fan. How stupid is that trade?
Listen, for a lot of reasons, I've seen. It's also like people. I know no one wants to hear the word gravity anymore, but people think that Duncan Robinson, he doesn't get his threes from standing in a corner. Like he's running around screens, like shooting while dribbling, shooting on the move.
Mad cardio.
That is so much more difficult than to be just a floor spacer, than to shoot off threes and off the dribble. That's what I mean. Duncan is obviously not Steph Curry, but what makes Steph Curry special isn't just that he's good at shooting threes. It's how many different ways he can shoot threes and still shoot over 40%. We do already have Marcus Morris at home. I do like Marcus Morris, but I don't think that he's like the right mix for this team. I don't think that's the kind of player they need is to put another kind of big body like that next to PJ and closing lineups, etc. I don't think that's what they need, and that was a move. Can I ask a question to you guys? I'm just curious. And I know that like all these, I love the bravado, I love the confidence here, but I want to know in an honest moment, what team makes you guys the most nervous right now? Which team makes you the most nervous in the East?
Oh, are we going around the horn?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Moose. Go you first.
Well, the team that really scares me is Miami Heat when we look in the mirror because the only thing that can beat us is ourselves.
Oh,
gotta hear
Let's fucking go.
Hit him one time. Get that monkey shoulder going. Let's go.
One time, drip drop. What kind of
Rohan is so upset.
Come on.
No,
Rohan's like, fuck, I can't even enjoy this. All right, legit answer, Brass, because Moose gave away the guts answer.
I don't even have like a specific team because again, I'm not really overly concerned about any team. What I'm a little more concerned about if we match up with one of the younger athletic teams in the first round, that's going to tire us out. So listen, yeah, I'm not scared of the Raptors, but like, listen, they're a hard matchup. Sometimes teams are just bad matchups, and they're a bad matchup.
In the East this year, in the first round, is going to be good.
Yeah.
The East is 9-10 teams deep.
Yeah.
But again, I will say it again. This is not being cocky, but if we go into the playoffs totally healthy, I am not worried. I mean that from the bottom. That's not my fucking culture bravado. I literally mean that.
Okay, interesting.
Very
interesting.
Kenny, who concerns you? And I'm gonna say, like, I was attacked on Twitter for saying that the Boston Celtics watch the fuck out because,
bro, yes,
since January,
they're a good team,
bro. Since December 1st, even
you can go back to dominating,
bro. Clamps. I'm talking about the best defense in the league.
Are you saying Brad Stevens wasn't the answer?
No,
why do you think he wasn't a top 15 coach?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, but like, it wasn't Brad doing that the whole time.
No, Brad by doing nothing, and he made a great ass fucking defensive team. The Boston Celtics defense.
The Celtics are going to give someone absolute hell in the first round.
That's what I mean. Like, yeah,
and that's a
first
matchup
round,
I don't think Miami wants.
First of all, the Celtics are. I'm sorry to cut you off. The Celtics are going to the second round.
Yes.
Although they did get Daniel Tice back, and bam, will fucking eliminate.
Here, I have a question for you guys. I have a question for you guys after I say something about the Celtics. But here's why I think Heat fans should be worried about the Celtics. If they make it a half-court game against the Heat, Jason Tatum's the best half-court scorer in that series. It's true. Even him struggling this season. He is an offensive level that even Jimmy can't get to, so that's going to be interesting. But let me ask you guys another question, because none of you guys seem to believe that there are any threats for the Heat. Even though
I actually my answer.
All right, Kenny, you go.
Wow.
So my answer actually was the Celtics. The only thing that I'm not as worried about is the Daniel Tice trade, because they got rid of Josh, who's
nobody cared about.
Derek White's good.
Well,
Derek White's good.
Yeah,
they got better with Derek White.
Yeah, no. So the Celtics, they actually got better, but the only thing is they didn't necessarily get better for the Heat, because you don't really want Daniel Tice switching for you. And so they got better.
They got plenty of front-court depth. I mean, Rob, Grant, Horford,
They made their matchup a little more difficult for the Heat, but they definitely got better with those deals on the deadline. But that's the team I'm worried about, because they do switch and they do have a ton of great defenders. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
Rohan, what was your question for Brian?
Well, this is another question that I think we're talking about how crazy the East is. You're saying the Celtics are going to the second round. So tell me which of these teams, because only 4 of these teams can be in the second round, all right? So which of these teams is not in it? Miami, Boston, Philadelphia, Brooklyn.
Brian.
Right now, I'd probably say Brooklyn. They're right now, they lost 11 straight. Obviously, they don't have Durant back, but I mean, at the moment, they're 7.5 back from the first seed, still even 6.5 from the 2 seed. So if you're expecting them to pretty much play on the road to start off a first round series, on top of probably playing, we'll see if they have to play in the play-in, but that's a tough road for them just to even make it to the second round. That's a very tough road for them to get out of the first round and then play a tough series in the second round too.
By the time the playoffs come around, Kyrie's going to be able to play home games and away games.
Well, and also I want to add to that. There's one of 2 ways that would happen. Either New York changes their rules, or what is kind of more likely, the team will just pay the fines, because
I don't think
those
the NBA
fines
is going to let them pay the fine. I don't think the NBA is going to let them pay the fine. I don't think that's.
I think Brooklyn's going to change.
But I think Brooklyn's going to change the rules too.
That's what I think is going to happen.
I don't know.
I'll just say this: if let's say you just assume, right, Milwaukee, Miami, Philadelphia, and Brooklyn are in the second round, which is, I mean, 4 great teams, right? That means Boston loses in the first round, Toronto, the Cavs, Chicago, which has been incredible. And
oh my God! Guys, if Chicago loses in the first round, Gianni's rant is going to be fucking epic. So when that happens, be sure you tune in to Hangover. We will do a Hangover Time just after that Chicago loss, just for Gianni.
That's very possible. It's very possible.
But see, in my opinion,
don't have a 4 at all.
Yeah.
The one that drops out is the 76ers, in my opinion.
Yeah, I actually agree with that.
I don't know. Listen,
I'm with Brian on Brooklyn. I think I understand what you're saying about KD, but until we know that's a certain, he's the outlier for me. And
yes,
and
I just think
I have to go Brooklyn.
Right, but I mean, once KD is healthy, I mean, we saw what KD did last year with Harden on one
scariest
hamstring.
player in the playoffs.
Yeah, and then I just think that I'm just trying to get people mentally prepared because the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs is going to be a bloodbath.
Bloodbath.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's going to be a sweep. I'm not going to say it's going to be a sweep. I mean, it's Heat in 5, but like it's not going to be a sweep. Like it's going to be a tough. Like one of those games is going to be really tough.
No, but see, to me, the Sixers, like if I'm looking at all the teams, right, the Heat, the Cavs, the Raptors, I'm looking at all these teams, and I'm looking who has the weaknesses, right? The Sixers just gave up Seth Curry, who to me is probably top 20 scorers in the NBA. Like he's a really good fucking scorer. They did not get better defensively with James Harden. Now you're counting on James Harden because the problem with Embiid is crunch time in a playoff series. Who is going to get you a bucket? The best player he's ever played with was Jimmy Butler, right? Now Embiid's going to be looking. Ben Simmons isn't there anymore to cast blame on. Now it's James Harden. James Harden historically in the playoffs is ass. Yeah. When you can scheme for James Harden over a 7-game series, any decent fucking coach will completely shut this motherfucker down. That's why the Sixers, to me, because they gave up Seth Curry, and they gave up the picks, and I think they gave up too much for James Harden.
Can I play devil's advocate for that sake?
Go ahead.
So I think you make some interesting points. I'll say this. Embiid, since the last time, over the last couple of years, has just become one of the best mid-range shooters in the NBA. Like he's shooting mid-range jumpers the way we'd all want Bam to. I mean, he's lights out. He's had some incredible clutch moments this season. I haven't looked up the numbers. I haven't seen what his shooting percentage is recently, etc. He's had some big moments in the clutch. I also just look at it this way. I'm with you. I think Seth Curry's really talented. They're going to miss him. Like, I don't think Harden and Embiid are as clean of a fit, for example, with Seth Curry and Embiid. Like, Curry and Embiid played great together. They also, if you just look at it, like, they just traded Seth Curry for James Harden. Like, Ben Simmons isn't playing. You can forget about it. Like, a million times out of a million times you trade Seth Curry for James Harden. So I'm not saying that there are no issues there or that they won't run into any roadblocks, etc. But this is the best spacing Embiid is ever going to have also played with for his entire life. Like he's going to be on the court with 4 shooters for the first time in his life. If they play Danny Green.
Wait. Who are the 4 shooters?
If they play Green, Harris, Maxey, and Harden next to Embiid, which I think is a legitimate closing 5. Like, again, I'm not saying that this is definite. I'm mostly just kind of playing, like I said.
My thing is, once you said Danny Green, you lost me.
No, so the thing I want to say about them though is James Harden and Joel Embiid's play styles don't necessarily fit. The way you would want that to work is you go ahead and have him run pick and rolls because James is a great pick and roll playmaker, but Embiid is not a great roller.
He doesn't like. He doesn't even want to.
Maybe if they actually had a top 15 all-time NBA coach on that team, maybe. By the way, because Doc is not it.
Never, Doc ain't scared of that motherfucker.
Doc ain't beating nobody.
Good luck with that.
But no. Kenny is an amazing point. James Harden is amazing in the pick and roll with a roller.
Yeah.
Embiid as a 5, as a big, is one of the most underwhelming rollers in the NBA. He doesn't like to roll.
Well, I'll pull out. He's also never had a good reason to roll. This is also the best time he's ever had. So will he change?
Wait. He didn't have a good reason to roll when Ben Simmons was his point guard?
No, because they couldn't run Ben Simmons and Embiid pick and rolls. They never ran them because teams would drop so far down. You just couldn't do it. You couldn't do it, and you can't do it the same way for Harden.
And on top of that, I'm with Rohan. It's literally as simple as you just gave up Simmons, who wasn't going to play for you at all. He was not giving you shit. Literally.
They got better.
For James Harden, they got better. They kept Maxey. They kept Bible. Yeah. I don't think we should be discounting what Philly did. Do I think it's going to put them over the top and all that? I don't know until I see the fit.
Yeah, I want to see them play.
They damn sure got better though, and Embiid is playing at a level.
They got better,
this is what I'll say though.
I think Brooklyn got better too.
They absolutely got better, But do you trust either James Harden or Joel Embiid to close anybody out in the playoffs?
I trust Embiid actually more than I trust Harden.
Yeah,
I think
same.
Embiid gets a bad rap. I know that like Heat fans don't like him. Embiid is fucking sick. Okay, Embiid is sick. He's gonna win MVP. That Raptors game that they lost, that game 7, he played 45 minutes. They were minus 10 in the 3 minutes he didn't play. They lost on a last second shot. And that was when he was sick. Like the guy is, I won't run up the chimney for Joel Embiid. You know what I mean? Like, people. Oh god, the worst time to be a Heat fan was when you had to pretend that you liked Whiteside more than Embiid. That was a tough time.
I can't lie. I did. I hated Embiid. He's so lame.
I still hate Embiid, but I mean, I could admit that he's a really good player. But I hate how they.
You don't think Embiid posting that meme after Simmons got traded was funny? Like that was hilarious.
That was amazing.
It's funny from anybody except Embiid. I'm already.
Yeah. Thank you, Kenny.
You guys are
you guys are hating. He's funny.
I'm a hater. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm a hater. Have you fucking met me?
Someone said once I got over the Whiteside thing, I loved Embiid.
I love that shit from Embiid.
Yeah.
And also, my thing is, going forward, the Embiid, Donovan Mitchell, Bam lineup is going to be a monster. I'm just saying, when Jimmy retires on some Dwayne Wade shit, and he's like, Embiid, we're best friends. You come over here, play with Bam, another one of my best friends. We already got Donovan Mitchell like in another year and a half. It's going to be soon. When we send out Tyler Herro and Duncan and 3 first-round picks for Donovan Mitchell, and Knicks fans, I will tell you this. Let me tell you something, Knicks fans. I saw a Knicks fan tweet that said, Donovan Mitchell wants to come to New York. We're not going to have to give up R.J. Barrett. First of all, nobody wants R.J. Barrett. Nobody. Nobody's out here. There's not a team in the fucking league who's out here like, the coveted R.J. motherfucking Barrett. Nobody cares. What is RJ Barrett doing? The niggas in the league are like, we need RJ Barrett on our team. Listen, Caleb, RJ Barrett, there's so many RJ Barretts at home. Caleb Martin, Bembry, there's RJ Barretts all over the goddamn league. You out here talking about, we're not going to have to give up RJ Barrett for fucking Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell doesn't want to go to your team. And you better give up RJ. You better give up everybody. You might have to trade James Dolan. Okay? Get the fuck out of my face. Oh, we're not going to give up RJ. We don't have to give up RJ Barrett. They'll take fucking Randall and they were like, someone said they'll take Mitchell Robinson for RJ. For Donovan Mitchell. Get out you guys are so fucking stupid. So goddamn stupid. Nobody wants RJ Barrett. He sucks. He's a terrible fucking basketball player. I'm not saying he's terrible. Okay. But he's been
pretty good, but
if your hang up,
who's his comparison on the Heat?
Tyler Herro. And I would literally, if somebody said we gotta trade Tyler Herro for fucking Donovan Mitchell, but Alf, there's nobody at his house that is capable of packing his bags. And I would be like, listen, motherfucker, I got you. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to pick up fucking Moose, and he's going to be yelling drip drop the whole way, and we are going to pack Tyler Herro's bags. And Tyler Herro, even if he resists me and says, don't pack my bags, I'll punch Tyler Herro in the goddamn face, and I will pack his bags and ship him off for fucking Donovan Mitchell. And for Knicks fans to say, I would not give up RJ Barrett for Donovan Mitchell, you're all fucking idiots.
So two things. One, did you notice who that was, Alf?
Who?
That was Naaman from The Wire that said that. Julio McCollum.
Stop lying.
I swear to God, Julio McCollum. That's him. That was Naaman from The Wire. And I don't understand who Knicks fans think they are, man. Because, we see how y'all treat y'all stars the second they don't play well. Why would any star actually want to go there? They're doing the Julius Randle this year. They were doing it to Kemba Walker earlier this year. They did it to Stephon Marbury, New York City fucking icon. And every year they're like, this star's going to want to come to us because we're the Knicks and we play in New York. Nobody give a fuck. Everybody lives in LA and Miami in the offseason anyway. Nobody cares about, and all due respect to Alf because he's from there. New York ain't been that cool.
I was born in New York, but I don't really fucking claim
There's no
Even
fucking
Rohan
loyalty.
left New York.
These players have no loyalty, man. Like Oakley. Like, could you imagine? Like, Oakley got his ass dragged out of the Garden. Dragged out. Imagine Zoe getting his ass dragged out of fucking FTX. Get out of here. It is garbage.
They didn't want to spike in one game. Like, why would any superstar player say, hey, I want to go there?
Garbage organization.
Real quick, Mr. RN1223, is Alf slurring his words or am I just too drunk? No, Alf is drunk.
Oh, Alf is definitely
and we both might be drunk.
We all drunk, man.
The only person that isn't drunk is fucking Rohan Nadkarni.
For real.
And I warned this motherfucker. That's what we're doing tonight.
On a fucking drip drop.
I also want to say, like, Kyrie. Honestly, I'm gonna go. Screw Kyrie, man. Like his comments tonight. Come on now, puppeteers. There's no guilt that I feel. I'm the only player that has to deal with this in NYC because I play there. If I was anywhere else, then it probably wouldn't be the same circumstances. Talking about the vax mandates. Kyrie, this is 100% on you, man. It's fully on you.
Bullshit.
I'm not doing the vax shit, blah, 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 whatever.
Get vaccinated.
Oh, I'll do the vax shit, and fuck you, Kyrie. Come on, man. This is outrageous. It's crazy. Such a victim. Such a victim, Kyrie, man.
Let me say this about Kyrie, too. Because if everybody was saying, you know what, we're not getting vaccinated, Kyrie would be like, hey, you know what? I'm getting vaccinated. He's not intelligent. He's not some martyr. He's a fucking contrarian, and
he is a contrarian. That is
he's
true.
just doing the opposite of what everybody else wants to do, and it's dumb. The puppeteer thing. He sounds like Joe Rogan. He's an idiot.
Yep,
he's an idiot. Great player. I love him. He's a fucking
good
idiot.
Good player. Yeah,
complete fucking idiot.
Good player.
Listen, we had a
can't be that good if you lose 11 straight. Sorry.
Yeah, and he played in what, 8 of those? I think.
Brian, say that again, real quick.
Can't be that good of a player if you lose 11 straight.
And also, Cam something or other went ham and got you to the point where you should have closed the game out and you couldn't do it because Duncan Robinson clamped your ass the fuck up. Rohan, give me your best Kyrie Irving take.
My best Kyrie Irving dig?
Take. Or dig, whichever one you want.
I don't know that I have a good or.
Have you heard of Kyrie Irving feature?
Take. I have not. I've interviewed him a couple of times. One time he told me, I asked him what books are you reading, and he said he was loving reading Courage by Osho. I don't know if you guys have seen the documentary Wild Wild Country on Netflix, but he was like a cult leader, and I thought that was interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I actually here I'll give you someone talking about Uncle Drew. I teared up during Uncle Drew. That's a true story. Saw it like a press screening in New York. Couple emotional scenes in Uncle Drew, if I'm being perfectly honest. I don't have a Kyrie take.
This is like Johnny talking about anime.
Listen, obviously I wish he would get the shot. I think he's still a really good basketball player, and I don't know. I'm honestly kind of. There's something to be said about how much spotlight there is on him. He's not the only unvaccinated player in the NBA, but sometimes you'd think he was, which is kind of strange. But I'm interested to see how that situation plays out, to say the least.
I will say too, though, I can't make too much fun of Rohan because I'm emotional as fuck, and I cried too. And so the part of Hustle and Flow where Taraji heard her voice on the song.
Let's go.
I can't judge Rohan too much.
Listen, Uncle Drew's just got it's got Shaq in it, it's got Reggie Miller, it's got Chris Evers. These are guys who I grew up watching play basketball. I was like, yeah, let's go. This is sick.
Have you done a stream beat on that yet, Moose?
Real man shit.
No.
You know what I like? You know what I like about Uncle Drew? It's a movie. You know what else I like? Because I'm drunk as fuck and I want to get to the segment. I also like Moose at the movies. Let's go.
Oh, we back?
One man, two desires. Drip, drop, and cinema. It's Moose at the movies. Powered by Streambeat.
Oh my God, I need food so bad.
That 2-hour stale popcorn. I love it. All right. Let's do it. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight Moose at the Movies wants to focus on an aspect of basketball that doesn't get enough attention. All right, see, you can have a roster filled with perennial all-stars like the Heat Beat crew, or a team collected of mainly random scrub Heat killers, maybe a bunch of journeymen on their last NBA legs, or even a rambunctious group of talented young misfits. But no matter what, it takes the right coach to get all 15 guys to buy into a system and culture bigger than themselves, to get the most out of someone's potential on and off the floor. Yes, Heat fans see it every day with our first ballot Hall of Fame coach, Eric Spoelstra, a.k.a. Filipino Jackson, and a group of brash, delinquent, outcast teenagers in Richmond, California saw it too, when their new basketball coach first stepped foot into the gym and demanded the respect that Samuel L. Jackson motherfucking deserves. That's right. This week, we're breaking down Coach Carter. I know, Rohan, you excited? This one's on your list? You should be. You should be, man.
Your was racist.
This one is good. Based on a true story, Coach Carter is an inspiring tale about a man that I'm convinced was at one point a drill sergeant turned high school basketball coach. I mean, you can't tell me that Major Payne didn't play a pivotal role in this man's parenting skills. But what I love most about this movie is that it's clearly just Samuel L. Jackson being Samuel L. Jackson. And the movie makes a very clear point to show you that he's dealing with some tough kids. I mean, look at this cast, okay? First, you got young Channing Tatum, fresh off She's the Man fame. Then you got that dude from My Cousin Skeeter that was way less entertaining than the actual puppet. And then, I love this one, and Hollywood's go-to racially ambiguous kid. From all of those 2000 films, okay? Need a tough yet funny-looking next Puerto Rican kid that can cover all 3 boxes in one casting. For about 9 years, this was your man. So as soon as Coach Carter steps into
they called him Spanish in old school.
Right? Exactly. Spanish! Yeah. Great one. As soon as Coach Carter steps into the gym, he's laying down the rules. Everybody call me yes, sir, or no, sir. Everybody must attend and sit in the front row of all their classes, and everyone must maintain decent grades. So little Jose Alvarado decides to test Coach Carter and sneak attack bitch slap him. But he didn't know that Jackie Brown is a cold motherfucker, okay? So Coach Carter shoves him into the wall, and little Ernesto is shook. And he says the teachers aren't supposed to touch students. And then Coach Carter says, I'm not a teacher, I'm a coach. Damn! I mean, great movie line, but Coach Carter better chill. That response will not hold up well in court. I mean, you're saying you found a loophole to touch a child in today's climate? Yeah, no. Anyways, some time passes, and after a while, Coach Carter just breaks them all down mentally and physically. He has them running suicides in the gym till they puke. He teaches them the importance of finely tuned defense. And my favorite part, he starts implementing his own playbook, which is literally just him bragging about all his crazy exes. Like literally every fucking play is the name of an ex, and he goes into detail of what made them crazy. Like, I was with this one girl, she had a fat ass that jiggles more than a McFlurry. Her name was Nancy, and we played a game called Just the Tip. So when I say Nancy, look for the offensive tip-in, okay? This other girl, she was...
It's a tip situation.
I was waiting for that. She once used a pin to puncture a small hole in my condom. Her name was Delilah. So when I screamed Delilah, we moved to trap defense for 18 years. And, you know, Coach Carter was getting it in because he had like 12 different plays, all named after crazy exes. So the kids start bonding and buying into Coach Carter's rules and Delilah, Nancy, shit like that. They go on a major fucking run and they start racking up the wins and become the hottest team in California. That is until the players' first report cards are released. Realizing his players are failing several classes, he puts chains on the gym doors and locks the players out, even forfeiting several games. Because Coach Carter knows that to be a real winner, you gotta dominate in the classroom.
That's right.
The funny part is all the other teachers are like, this is fucking bullshit, all right? Let them play, all right? Like, we want to watch a game, okay? Even some of the parents were like, we don't care as long as they're getting buckets. But the players decide to unite and back up Coach Carter since he's the only one that's really believed in them. They spend weeks locked out in the gym studying like crazy in the library until finally they get their grades up in time just for the last game of the season against the #1 ranked team in the state. And with the help of Coach Carter's unwavering support, Ernesto's sweet three-point shooting stroke, and that Delilah, Nancy condom broken defense situation, they win the game and become one of the most celebrated high school teams of all time. See, Coach Carter isn't just a story about a demanding yet caring coach, but it's also a triumphant story about perseverance and believing in yourself. I give this film 25 drip drops. Brass, take me out.
So I do want to say two things about that movie. So one, Steph got to stop taking credit for changing the game when Timo Cruz did that. And two, the idea that like Coach Carter, the whole movie is Coach Carter said, hey, I want your kids to succeed. And the whole community was like, get the fuck out of here. We trying to hoop.
That's literally what I just said. Did you not listen to my 45-minute monologue? Like what?
But like the idea, like I will say expound on like the parents of the kids themselves, like, look, fuck my kids. Let's let them go out there and hoop. Like, what up? Like you seen people die and go to jail. Who cares if my kid dies and goes to jail? Just fucking let them play against Ty Crane. It's an amazing movie. And shout out to Frankie for his Coach Carter story. Y'all can ask him about that one day.
Ooh, cool. Interesting. I do want to call out some subs. Since this is a drip drop night after all. Mendelpsy resubscribed with Prime. That's 2 months straight. Says Jimmy Butler does look like a dark-skinned Martin. He said it, not me. Also gave out one community gift sub. FT Reeve 31 gave out one community gift sub. Thank you for that. Also resubscribed to Prime. That's 4 months straight. Said big win, but we need to have an honest conversation about the mechanic versus yurt season.
Okay.
And then Karate Situation resubscribed for 1 month of Tier 1. That's 10 months straight for you. This sub anniversary goes to Kenny and his internet situation. So cheers to all of you who sub tonight. Let's hit him, Moose.
Gotta hit him one time with a drip drop.
I'm out,
everybody in the comments who's like insinuating that I was really bored during that last segment or hated it, you're totally right. I did not know that this was going to be this long of a podcast. I didn't know that there was going to be a Coach Carter recap. I didn't know someone was going to really just describe the entire plot of Coach Carter in detail.
I mean, we can run it back.
In the middle of this.
Give me the intro, Brad.
No.
Give me the intro.
No, you know, here's my problem. Listen, I love
also,
Rohan.
Dedmon's one of the best backup centers in the NBA. Stop with
Thank you.
Stop
He's
with
the best. He is the best backup five in the entire NBA. Let's put that out there. What I don't like is Rohan. He came in here. You're very fucking
so disrespectful.
I'm just, you know what? Listen. First of all,
Are you this disrespectful on Locked On Heat? I don't feel like you are.
Just walking in your house, not
you go on Locked On? What the hell?
Locked On's the best Miami Heat podcast out
Oh, boot him out. Kick him out. You're done.
Strike
let me tell you something. Y'all clear out.
Broke a rule there. This is outrageous.
Bring him back.
Seriously, you never make fun of Moose at the movies.
At least he didn't say the guys across the street was better than us.
First of all,
he
the
wouldn't say that.
I don't want to
Postgame
He wouldn't say
show
that.
for Miami Heat fans. And listen, I love you, Rohan. You're a big part of Sports Illustrated, and whatever that means anymore. No, I'm going at Rohan right now. I'm going at Rohan.
I earned it.
No, you big
did.
time. You big time to us on your way in.
You're right.
I'm gonna come back at you a little bit because this is what I do.
As you should. No, listen, I had a little bit of an attitude there. I maybe dialed it up too much, and now you're reeling me back in.
And I will say, a lot of times I'm like, oh, Rohan retweeted us, and I'm like, he ain't shake nothing.
And so
I'm just Kenny, calm down a little bit. I'm going at Rohan a little bit because I love Rohan. We are friends. We come from the same ilk. Like we're Coral Springs raised and like listen.
Yeah.
But I when Rohan came in here strong, like, why did you introduce me early? And I'm like, you corny. There's not a lot of difference between me and you, Rohan. I'm just gonna say, just because you got the Sports Illustrated behind you, what I'm trying to say is, there's a lot of times Rohan tweets something out, and that shit got like 2 retweets, 14 likes. And I'm like, let me go ahead and help.
Then what happens? Then what happens?
Let me help my man Rohan out because he said something about the Heat. Let me reach Heat fans with this because Rohan doesn't reach Heat fans like that, not the way I do. And I'm not bragging about my reach. I was like, let me help Rohan reach Heat fans. I'm gonna retweet Rohan shit that Heat fans because you're not Ryan Cortez. I'm gonna tell you that shit right now. You're not Cortez. You ain't got no culture chatter. I'm just saying. You don't come
Chris
here.
Cody's the better Cody, so take that.
I'm just saying, don't come on Hangover Time feeling like you could throw your weight around. I'm just saying.
That's Alf's job.
Yeah, respect. Good for you, Al. Good for you.
I'm gonna shut. Listen, I love you. You know, Rohan, I love you. But
So
don't come out here trying to throw your weight around.
I'm not disagreeing with anything that's been said. I'm internalizing it. I'm gonna hold myself accountable.
I do want to sort of defend Sports Illustrated because that by proximity defends Action Nicole Moss. And I don't want to speak any further because I'm drunk and I don't want to like get out of hand and make Rohan uncomfortable, but I love her. So I know I'm already out, but take me out, Brass, also.
Okay.
Yeah, like you weren't even featured.
Yeah, no, he told me. I'm just following orders. Just like I do for all the Black and Time segments from you.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
What time's that Super Bowl party, Rohan?
I'm very fucking drunk.
It starts like 20 minutes ago.
I heard they're airing Coach Carter tonight. Should watch.
Why is
restart? Let's give him an encore presentation of Moose at the Movies.
Do I have to stay? Can I just shut my computer off?
I'm not gonna remember any of this.
You got a nugget? We can end the show on a nugget if you got a nugget. Is Goran coming back? He was at the game. I mean, no one's making any points about him at the game with Tyler Johnson and Hassan Whiteside's cousin.
This is an
anti-nugget.
This is an anti-nugget. I'll leave you guys with this. Number one,
I'm anti-nugget.
Do the Heat want Dragic back? I don't know. Number two, I was supposed to do a story with PJ Tucker while I was in Miami recently, and he's playing too well, so he didn't want to jinx it, so he backed out.
Whoa.
Okay, no, let me tell you guys something.
And I respected it, and I was like, yeah, that's fine.
Let me tell you guys how I willed the Heat to a win tonight. And this is because I'm fucked the fuck up. And honestly,
I know.
Rohan will never come back on and hang out with me again. I love you, Rohan. I love you. You're my best friend.
I know you're fucked up. There's a couple clips you haven't pulled. We haven't even played them yet, but we're not going to. That's how I know.
That's a long time.
Go ahead.
Long time ago.
I forgot there was a game tonight.
I'm telling you, my wife can fucking vouch for this. I have worn the same pair of Miami Heat shorts for the last 4 wins. And then I didn't wear them tonight. I was just wearing another pair of shorts. I was like down here. I'm like, Heat, we got the starting lineup. I don't need that shit. Fucking Kyrie hit that 3 or somebody, Cam Thompson, somebody hit a 3 and cut it to 1 with like 37 seconds left. I ran upstairs. And my wife was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I got to get my shorts. And I put the motherfuckers on, and I came back downstairs and we won the game. I'm just trying to say, listen, I'm not trying to say that it's all about me. But it is all about me. Because I put these shorts on, we won this fucking game tonight.
Rohan, that's your next feature story idea right there. You need to interview Alf. Yes. Put him on the front cover of Sports Illustrated. When the Heat win the title, I want him to have his own parade float with his shorts on.
Oh, I fucking hope he has his shorts on.